अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम साद वाले और आज हम एक और स्टार्टअप इन कराची के पॉडकास्ट में हैं। हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं हु इज़ नाउ टेकिंग ओवर आवर टिकट्स एंड आवर मनी, they bring us many events. We have Zayaan bhai, who is a co-founder or founder.
Yeah, co-founder and managing director of Ticketwala.
Ticketwala. So I'm sure you've seen Ticketwala at many places. They were controlling the tickets at Karachi, तो आप उसके बगैर जा ही नहीं सकते थे. Many other events, many more things happening. They have a lot of ambitions that they are going to cater, inshallah. And it has a very bright future, definitely, inshallah, in Pakistan. So again, pehle to thank you for coming, Zayaan bhai.
No, of course, it's a pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Again, it's a pleasure to have you. I want to know more about what really Ticketwala is in your definition and what you guys are envisioning for. Like, what are your aims and what's your 5-year strategy? But I want to start off from your story first. कि आपने शुरू कैसे किया, कहाँ से हैं, कहाँ पढ़ा, क्या किया?
Yeah, so I mean, born and raised here in Karachi. Went to Bayview Academy, moved to Karachi American School, and then went to the UK Lancaster University for my undergrad to study marketing. And actually, while I was there, I was in constant communication with a couple of my best friends from here. And when we moved back from university, we all moved back here, and we all kind of came up with this concept for Ticketwala. Right? One of them, my other partner Zayaan, brought the concept to me, and we discussed it. He's also Zayaan. So there's Zayaan, and Rehan. Okay.
Zayaan and Rehan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all kind of discussed it and came up with the concept for Ticketwala. It's not necessarily a new concept, right? I mean, it's all over the world. You've got e-ticketing platforms. In fact, we even had e-ticketing platforms in Pakistan before we launched. I mean, they had
the ex-director of Startup in Karachi, Faizan Lagari.
Yeah.
He had another platform.
Yeah, exactly. There were quite a few of them actually, right? You have, I mean, BookMe and Sasta and all are still around. They're focused on travel, right? But you had Book It Now, Easy Tickets, Happening,
Where did
all
Book
of
It
these.
Now go?
It's still there. But the whole thing was that there was this gap, right, that we found. Even though people were working on events, the issue was that there was a lack of consumer knowledge about these events. So when we actually launched, people were like, wow, what a great idea, first time in Pakistan, that's crazy. We're like, no, dude, people have been doing this for like the past 5-6 years.
Oh, yeah,
and that was the whole thing, right? The marketing was an issue, right, from these platforms, from what it looked like, right? And essentially, they were only doing the ticketing for events that came to them for digital ticketing, right? You weren't really reaching out to these events to get them to ticket online. So what we did was we launched with a blog, right? A blog just talking about all the different initiatives happening. This was, I think, about, let's say, January 2019, we launched the blog, right?
That was also called Ticketwala.
Yeah, that was Ticketwala, the blog.
But, okay, why ticketing was so important to you? Like, why did you do this?
We've been into events our whole life, right? So I used to do events when I was in school over here. I did events when I was in university, right? So I was doing events for UNICEF. I was doing my own events. So always been into that whole space. My partners as well. One was in Syracuse in the US. The other was in Turkey, right? So I mean, they were doing events here and there. So it was a natural kind of fit for us to, one, all work together because we were best friends and all had the same kind of background. And two, there's that lack, of communication over here in Pakistan. So there was that opportunity. And it's a growing industry, right? At a very, very fast pace. And I think COVID actually, it should have killed us, but it worked in our favor.
How was that? Because, again, as you said, a ticketing platform based on events. During COVID, again, you should have shut down. How did you guys survive? What did you do?
Yes, so, we already never really got funding. We did a family and friends round to launch. right? That kind of, we burnt through that money, until about COVID, right? We were down to, I mean, what? Maybe we had like a lakh or so rupees, not even, in our account when COVID hit. And we had just been running as a blog, so we weren't necessarily generating much revenue. But we did a lot of marketing. We were reaching out to all these people and saying, we're going to be launching our ticketing platform, and we'd love to have you on board, and we wrote this article about you and whatever. So we had grown that cult following from the consumers. People used to ask us, do you trust this event? Because if you say no, we're not going, right? So we had gotten that recognition, and event managers were happy to be featured on our platform. Launched our platform, ticketing platform. It was about November, right? COVID hit, 4 months in or so, and we sulked for about a week. We thought, oh, it's over, all our mehnat is gone down the drain, but then we decided to pivot. We were like, we're not going to let this thing die. And, we spent a lot of time and effort on this, a lot of money on this also, our own money, our family, friends' money, whatever. And we had thought of going towards the whole VC side, raise funds and might keep us going, but we knew the timing wasn't right.
Yeah.
So we were like, we'll wait. And all the other platforms, they kind of died out. So you asked about Book It Now, right? They stopped, right? They were like, okay, events are dead, so we'll stop for a while and we'll restart when, events are up and running again. What we did is we went gung-ho and just kind of increased our marketing, right? We saw it as an opportunity. While those guys are no longer doing their marketing, no longer going after these events, everyone's kind of free, we'll take them, right? So over that period of time, we actually took all their contracts, right? And we signed everyone on exclusivity, right? So once events restarted, they're all exclusive to Ticketwala. So our market share went from like this to this, right, in events. And other than that, the main play was that we noticed it wasn't just us, right, that was hit by COVID. Every single industry, every single business was. So, and you saw the rise of Zoom, right? You had personal trainers, you had makeup artists, everyone just going live on Zoom, right? Selling registrations for courses and stuff. So we noticed that, nobody wants to give their bank account information just publicly online. So we'll register those online courses as events on our platform, do the marketing for it, give them payment options, right? And then just pay them at the end of it. So we registered all those courses, events, and we ended up doing way more in sales than we had ever done before that. So we had our best months during COVID. That kept us going. We saw the opportunity in e-learning, and we actually ended up doing two other businesses. So we launched. So currently, the three of us founders own 3 companies. It's not just Ticketwala. It's all because of COVID.
Okay.
One, we had to sustain Ticketwala. The marketing efforts that we ramped up, we needed a way to do it. So we launched a digital marketing agency. When what we started doing was bringing on other clients, doing their marketing, right? Essentially breaking even on our costs, right? And giving free marketing to Ticketwala, which allowed Ticketwala to expand, right? And then we launched an e-learning platform, right? And that e-learning platform was due to the fact that we saw that this, e-learning was working for Ticketwala as well. So we made it a whole different thing where we are actually producing the courses themselves, right? So the marketing agency is called Source Digital, and and Masterclass Collective is.
हम उसको देख रहा था. I was curious कि वो क्या है, क्योंकि आपके co-founders के LinkedIn पे भी लगा हुआ था. So Masterclass is what exactly?
So it's an e-learning platform for high-profile South Asian instructors. So if it's essentially
what
similar
instructors of what, like.
Yeah, we get let's say the top people in each industry
to
teach about that industry, right? So, for example, we've got a course with Shahid Abdullah. We've got a course with Basim Akhund. We've even got an influencer course with like Ayman Khan and Fatma Hassan and all these different people.
Nice.
So, I mean, it there's a variety of different things that we're doing in makeup. You've got Umair Wakar, So, I mean, we're launching this now, right? We initially got up and running, and then we decided let's just pump out more courses, and then we're going to launch with the bang. So that's what we're doing now. So that's kind of running side by side. The digital marketing agency is running side by side.
Awesome.
It's helped. The digital marketing agency has helped Ticketwala a lot, because it helped us give more services to the event managers, right? Because now we can do their marketing for them, do their graphic design, do their performance marketing, run ad campaigns and stuff like that. So, it helped Ticketwala just grow like crazy.
That's fantastic. What are you guys doing now? So you are an e-ticketing platform. You're selling. You had exclusivity for Karachi Eat. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
And you're also doing the other eats in.
Yes. So we were meant to do all of them, but the thing is that during that time there was so many other events going on as well and basically what we started doing around about Karachi Eat was we started handling the gate for event managers. So it's not just an online ticketing portal.
That's what I noticed, and there was a event at the Alliance France. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that it was France or Italy? I don't know.
Yeah, France.
Okay, sorry. So, you guys had your guys on the gate. So, what was that? Okay, again, an online platform having physical operations. Ye kya chal raha hai?
Yeah, I mean, so that was part of, again, the whole COVID concept that we bolstered up our entire platform. And it became more than just the online portal. So we actually have an entirely offline system as well. So we can handle the gate for you. And the whole concept was, something like Karachi, for example. There's so many different people that you don't get signals, right? So even when you've got, let's say, an online portal, where you can scan the QR code, but, you need internet for it, right? What if you don't have internet, So we designed an entire offline platform that you can actually scan in all the guests without the need for any connection, right? And it syncs all together offline, right? So, there's no concept of, okay, this person can come from one gate, and the same ticket can go through another gate. No, they can't, because it syncs offline as well. It took a lot of time to design, but, it worked, and, event managers love it, So we started handling the gate for a lot of people, and, it was a big plus to them, because they kind of just, rather than thinking, ke chalo, they're selling our tickets and unko liye marketing ho rahi hai basically, and they're giving customers more options, now they can just kind of hand over the entire ticketing side. Okay, we're not dealing with it, that's your job. So we, A to Z, do it all for them.
So essentially, you're like the Zameen for tickets now. So Zameen would go to a contractor and be like, "Tum building banao, main bechunga, main sab kuch karunga. You just chill.
Yeah.
You just focus on your job." So
exactly.
That's amazing. So more events will happen now, and we already noticed that. So I don't know. There was a big gap of not knowing what event was happening, especially with such great places like Arts Council or Napa and so many other places in all over Pakistan. But it's great कि कोई भी वहाँ event हो रहा था आपके platform पे आ जाता है. Now I can just go. आप लोग भी चले. That's fantastic. What's your guys' strategy? Like, where do you guys see yourself in the next 3 years? Because I wouldn't say 5 years. That's too long to think now.
Yeah, I mean, the pace at which things change. I think 5-year strategies are just... it's never going to be like that. 3 years, yeah, sure. I mean, we're not working towards being the largest e-ticketing platform.
I mean,
right?
you can easily.
For example, Book Me Sasta, they're focused on travel, right?
Okay.
We're not focused on travel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not something that we may do, right? But we're focused on live entertainment, right?
Oh.
So, essentially, if you look at, for example, you model it off of the foreign companies, you've got Ticketmaster, it's an e-ticketing platform. we're not looking at the Ticketmaster model. We're looking at, let's say, the Live Nation model, right? Which is, I mean, basically it's everything live entertainment. You know, I mean, they own everything from venues, you know, record labels. You've got, you know, contracts with all the artists, right? They do merch, they do events themselves because they work with event managers. They do the ticketing, you know, the entire thing. So it's kind of the same concept where we're going to be doing the ticketing as we are right now. We're working with artists, you know. My partner is actually the manager for Hassan Rahim, right? So under the Ticketwala umbrella. So I mean, we are going to be managing more artists. Those artists are going to be on exclusivity with Ticketwala, which means no other ticketing platform can work with them. We are going to be doing our own events, right, as well. Like Ticketwala Presents kind of thing, you know.
Nice.
We are working with sponsors, right? So we help event managers actually get sponsors on board, right? And, you know, the list kind of goes on in terms of live entertainment, right? Once we've captured that market, right, be it locally or other international but similar countries, right? Without giving away too much about, you know, what we plan on doing. You know, focus on live entertainment, but yeah, we might come for travel.
That's great. But again, this itself is such a big market. So much to do. Right. So your founders, you guys didn't do a job. You just went directly into business, all of them. How did that happen? Because there's a big gap in the market of founders still. And people who do want to start a business don't have the courage for it either. Or even if they do get the courage, they lack mentorship. Now, you mentioned that you went to NIC Karachi. How was your experience going to an incubation space, which is one of the best ones in Karachi? And what would you recommend to a new founder or a aspiring entrepreneur who wants to do something?
So, you know, I'll take it one by one.
Yeah, sorry. ज़्यादा चीज़ हो गई. मैं पहला ये कि आपने directly university छोड़ते ही business में आ गए.
It wasn't exactly like that. I came back, I applied for jobs, you know, I got offers also. In fact, you know, the journey kind of started when I called to accept a job offer, and in the moment I was actually, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing instead. You know, literally on the call, I was like, I decided कि नहीं, actually मुझे offer accept नहीं करनी.
कौन सी job?
You know, it was with a brand activation agency. You know, so back in the
Karachi
space, yeah. And it was actually something that I'd wanted to do for a long time. I'd been after the CEO for many years. You know, before I went to university, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to work with you, right? So literally, I called him, you know, and you know, did the whole interview process, all that, called to accept. And I was like, nahi yaar, I'm going to do my own thing, you know, actually.
And
that was something else. That was a different idea. It was a different concept. It wasn't Ticketwala. Ticketwala...
उसको क्या करना चाह रहे थे?
यार, उस time मैं dry fruit बेचने वाला था.
हैं?
Yeah.
आप सारे लोग ये कर रहे हैं. IB वाले बहुत सारे बच्चे कर रहे हैं.
You know, so I had actually brought the machinery back with me from the UK.
Dry fruit की?
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to
do
do like, you know, mangoes and this and that. And I think my whole life my brain is kind of.
So
like,
your name is Zayaan Bawany.
Yeah.
So you come from a business family. Actually.
Yeah, I do, but not into the family business. I'm doing my own thing.
नहीं, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ भी बचपन से सिखाया जाता है भाई कारोबार ही करना है, कारोबार, कभी जॉब का तो मतलब सोच भी नहीं सकते.
I wish I did a job first, to be honest. I think that's one thing where all three of us severely lack. It gives you that structure. You know, we've learned a lot on our feet. We've learned from the experience, right? And, you know, it's invaluable experience. But that structure, I think, that you get from a job, working under someone else, and, you know, that's a completely different training. And I think that's very, very important. To be honest, like, seriously, I wish I had worked for a little while before I did it.
Definitely.
But you know, it is what it is, and I've always kind of been like risk on and just jump into it. Like, obviously, you can see 3 different things that we're doing, you know. So,
right. Next question. the courage, तो वो वाली बात भी हो गई. But what would you recommend to a new founder coming in, like wanting to start a startup? It's a very challenging environment now. Even like the industry you went in. अच्छा नहीं, dry fruits इस पे कैसे pivot आया था?
Idea.
Idea.
I told you yeah.
Dry fruit बंद क्यों किया? नहीं चला.
इसकी वजह से.
अच्छा वो चलना शुरू हुआ था. पैसे आ रहे थे.
Yeah. But this was bigger. This required my time.
Definitely.
You know, and that was a whole different model, and this was just something else that I was passionate about this, you know. That was again an opportunity, to be honest. People are minting money doing it now. So many of these different concepts. I did my personal training certification while I was studying in the UK. Initially, I wanted to come back and do this whole keto thing. You know, I was like, do the personal training consultancy and do, you know, keto ready meals and, you know, where personal plans and stuff like that. Us time pe tha hi nahi concept. Wapas aaya, you know, and then it was already done, and, you know, just seeing those people are killing it now.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, always kind of just wanted to do this. My family makes fun of me also about it. कि मतलब हर 2 दिन बाद कुछ नया करना है. You know, कभी ढाबा खोलना है मुझे, कभी ये करना है, कभी वो खोलना है. You know, so, but so, you know, so I guess I'm not the best example, you know, because I kind of just go for it.
Your experience,
you know?
Okay.
But you know, in terms of, you know, for someone new getting into it, I'd say just go for it, man. Like, a lot of people get scared, right? They don't have the courage to take that step, right? But that's the main bit, right? Once you're thrown into the deep end, you need to figure it out, right? Like,
and not give up.
And not give up. It's the consistency of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's very, very difficult. You know, so many things will get thrown at you which you have no idea, right, how to do. We don't have a CTO. We're a tech company, right? We still do not have a
CTO.
CTO.
क्या करते हैं? Outsource करते हैं?
We have a developer, right? He's great. But we are working with him, right? I knew absolutely nothing about, you know, building technology, right? Our first platform, we scrapped it. We scrapped the app, we scrapped the online portal, we rebuilt the entire thing, right? And, you know, now you can probably ask me a few questions and I'll know, right? Enough to talk about. So I sit with the developer for hours on end and ye kar le, you know, planning, whatever. So you learn along the way, right? Yeah. But you kind of just have to jump into it, you know. If we were scared about the fact कि यार, you know, हमें कुछ आता ही नहीं है टेक के बारे में, हम टेक कंपनी खोल रहे हैं, ठीक है, या बिजनेस के बारे में नहीं आता हमारा, you know, जॉब भी नहीं किया कभी भी, you know, पैसे नहीं है, you know, VC का फंडिंग नहीं लिया, nothing, you know.
इरादा है?
Yeah, you know, it comes down to timing for us. It always came down to timing. I'll get to that.
The event should be on time.
Yeah, you know, if we did it before COVID, we had no sales.
Oh yeah, really. Definitely.
If we did it during COVID, it was COVID. If we did it after COVID, you know, we were waiting. We knew that numbers are going to skyrocket, which they did. Alhamdulillah.
Are you guys making profits now?
Yeah. You know, so we focused on becoming a profit-making entity, right, rather than going for just the burn model, right? Want to be self-sustaining. So, you know, even the fact that we got through COVID, right, is a big deal, I think. But you know, yeah, we're making profits now, and inshallah, you know, the winters are coming, and I think things are gonna go on an upward trajectory. So either just before or just after that, we're gonna go for funding.
Okay.
You know.
Awesome. So again, what would be your recommendation to a new founder? Again, question, because you have been through the avenues where people suggest you should go to. So you went to NIC, you went bootstrapping, did you go to your family for advice?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna end up saying was talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Talk to everyone. You know, doesn't mean give away all your secrets, right? That, oh, these are my plans. Not everyone has the best intentions for you, but you will learn something from everyone. If you don't, so what? You know, I mean, NIC, the best thing about it is the networking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The networking aspect. So whether it's family or friends or something like an incubator where you're getting the guidance, like actual hands-on guidance. Family may not, my family does not have a tech background either. My family, like you said, family business, we come from a traditional businesses, no clue about
Your
this.
family का क्या काम है?
So we were into cables, like electric cables and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so you can imagine when I come back and I say मैं event की ticket बेचूंगा. मतलब the look on people's faces, everyone. Like firstly, what events, So, and everyone is supporting me, right? Has always supported us. Great to talk to because you learn something new from all of them. When you least expect it, something's just gonna click. I guarantee subliminally half our concepts have been because someone has said something and it's been like, oh, that's actually a very good idea, or that's triggered some other thing. So yeah, I would say meet anyone and everyone, talk to anyone and everyone. You have to be willing to put in that extra time. That's the main thing. I had no life. I still have no life.
This is very scary what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
But absolutely no life. But at least I enjoy it. I enjoy going to events. But yeah, you have to slog, dude. It's not easy. Especially with the pressure of 3 different things now. It's a lot, but it's worth it.
So we've talked about a bunch of things and a lot of insights. Again, I've started founder. If anyone wants to start, what should be his first step? Again, courage कहाँ से आया था?
नहीं है ना courage.
वो कैसे? तो आप कह रहे हैं कि courage नहीं है?
Yeah, as in look, everyone is scared to fail.
हाँ.
I'm still scared of failing, right? In the sense कि जितना कुछ भी कर लिया आज तक, whatever we've achieved, right? We've achieved. But I'm still scared कि, it could fail tomorrow, right? It's not like we're running in some crazy surplus profits, right? Profits बन रहे हैं, ठीक है, COVID की वजह से वापस lockdown हो जाए, let's say, for example, 1 महीना, 2 महीना, 3 महीना, चलो, I'm sure we were able to figure out something before, figure out something again maybe, but now, it's not just the economy over here, it's the world's economy, recession, this, that, you never know, right? COVID was unexpected, came out of nowhere, right? So, look, that fear, personally, I think is gonna remain. I think even the biggest of businesses have that fear right now. Okay. It's a very, very difficult climate, especially right now. You're seeing even the big players, like for example Airlift and stuff, what's happening. It's crazy, right? So it's a very difficult climate. And like I said, that fear of failing, I don't think it's necessarily going to go away, especially when it's your own business, your own baby, So, but you just have to kind of go for it. And, once you're in the deep end, you're going to figure it out because you don't really have an option. At that point, it's either you choose to fail, you give up, right? It wasn't an outside circumstance, right? It's, majority of the time you weren't really willing to put in that extra work, right? Whether it's because you're scared or whatever it may be, you have to step outside of your comfort zone, right? Yeah. Like I said, you need to talk to people, you need to get advice, do whatever you can, figure it out. And then if you fail, you tried your best, it's fine. If we had, just, even if we closed down when COVID hit, nobody would have batted an eye, right? Yeah, COVID happened, events were dead, I'm not saying, wow, we're such amazing entrepreneurs or something like that. No, I'm just saying we were willing to go the extra mile, you need to be able to do that.
Very good.
Right? Otherwise, yeah, you're not going to make it, most likely, unless you have some crazy concept, but still.
Crazy concept bhi ho to implement ki power, wo jo hai na, keep on going, that needs a lot of
Yeah, and you need power. To know, yaar, ke, chalo, here in Pakistan, you want to see ke, what is the lifestyle I want to live, right? What are my goals and ambitions for the next few years for my life, right? Unfortunately, over here, when you're doing a job and you're earning in rupees, no matter how well you do, right? There's a very small percentage because you're up against a lot of people, right? Chances of you really living the lifestyle of your dreams are very small, right? Try and work a job here and go abroad for a trip. It's difficult, man. This is my first trip that I'm taking since I launched. Since I moved
Really?
back from university, this is the first time that I'm actually going on a proper holiday, right? Next week. And
वो भी मैं आपको खराब करने वाला था अगर जल्दी हो जाता हमारे में
yeah, though also you were like, नहीं इसको थोड़ा conference पे आ जाओ.
कॉन्फ्रेंस में आ जाए.
So we've sacrificed in that sense. You have to be willing to do that. But I would say just jump into it. Get advice from as many people as you can, right? Be scared. Being scared, that fear is going to fuel, the journey, right? If we were not scared of just shutting down in COVID, we would not have, managed to push through, right? So that fear, use it to fuel it. Don't use it to give up and be like, I can't do this. Everything's against me.
नहीं,
I've had
that's
those
really
thoughts. They suck.
Just
it's
do
not
it.
worth it. Just do it.
Like,
Try to karo.
try.
Otherwise, you'll blame yourself for failing.
Try and failing is better than never doing
Yeah.
it.
But
amazing.
do it side by side. A lot of people don't have the luxury to quit their job or not get a job, and just do their own thing. Maybe you're able to raise family and friends around, maybe you're not, maybe you have the luxury to do it, maybe you don't, right? So find something that you can do side by side, right? I mean, people come up with these concepts, work at it at night, work on it side by side. You'll figure something out. Once you are really confident in the concept, once you see some kind of traction, if you do, then maybe you can take that step. For me, what was very, very important, what has been important for the three of us, get a partner, and if you can get a partner that's doing it full time, while you're doing it part time, even better.
Yeah.
Right?
And the best thing about Pakistan is, again, यहाँ पे बहुत कम है. So you can get like 5 interns easily and then just keep on doing it.
That's what we did with the marketing agency also. We hired everyone part-time initially.
Awesome.
Everyone was part-time or on a per project basis. You need to look into your cost cutting and stuff, but the first start.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. This was an amazing chat, an amazing conversation. I hope a lot of people do get the insights they need, because it's not hard. It's a very tough world, even if you do a job or a business, especially a startup, because pivoting is very important, as you did, and just keep on going, inshallah.
Yep, 100%.
लगे रहो.
हो जाएगा. नहीं हुआ तो खैर है.
चलिए जी, बहुत शुक्रिया.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.